A speck of life in this whole universe. With 70% of its surface covered in water, Earth, our home, in its natural world, houses over 8.7 billion species. Experts calculate that the rapid loss of species we are seeing today is estimated to be between 1,000 and 10,000 times higher than the natural extinction rate.
Whatever has value, that will go up the recycling chain, and whatever doesn't have value will not. Multi-layered plastic, they have no value currently because they are voluminous. You need huge amounts which will occupy a large amount of space to even make a kilo of that waste. High value would be something like your PET bottles, which are high value waste. So you would find that PET bottles are more likely to be taken up by private and public players, and you will find that things like thin plastic bags would not be taken up by anybody because the value is very low and the effort is much more. Picking up 1 billion straws would be impossible. If we create more waste, it will end up in all the land, air and water. I mean, it doesn't matter what you are actually polluting initially, it will end up in any of those.
It is us people who have been destroying the planet. So fundamentally, if we want to address these issues, we need a change in people.
See, if we observe our lifestyles today, there are certain very key characteristics. In the first place, it is a highly consumeristic lifestyle, which means we are consuming a lot. Now, when we say we are consuming a lot, obviously we are taking it from somewhere. We are taking resources from the earth. We are constantly making a huge demand on the earth, and this is not sustainable.
More than 35% of the world's mangroves are already gone. The figure is as high as 50% in countries like India. Clearing, overharvesting, overfishing, climate and pollution are the major causes of the degradation of these forests that cannot simply be replanted. Mangroves, working as trash traps, find endless amounts of garbage and non-biodegradable waste stuck in these breathing roots.
People in cities believe, or rather are of this convenient misconception that, theek hai na, if I throw kachra from my house, it's only going to land up in a landfill. And हमारे यहाँ तो ocean नहीं है, तो ocean का dumping होगा ही नहीं. We will need to come out of that thought process, because whether you throw a piece of garbage in a nala or you throw it in the river, it's going to ultimately end up into the ocean. You throw a piece of plastic into the water, it lands up into the ocean. Somewhere down the line, it's going to disintegrate. It's not going to decompose, it's going to disintegrate into smaller fragments. It's going to be eaten by the fish. The fish are going to be eaten by man. So ultimately, you're engulfing the same plastic you threw. For me, as an individual, if I just throw one plastic out of the window, it's one plastic. But if we move from me to we, and we realize what we are up to, it'll definitely bring about a change in the mindset. That's all that's required. You don't need great revolutions like the plastic revolution or the paper bag revolution. All you need is a change in mindset.
Trawling is a style of fishing in which a large net is dragged by a mechanized vessel along the bottom of the seafloor. And trawling is largely done to catch shrimps or prawns because they live at the benthos. When you drag a net, they get disturbed and basically they get caught in the net. But what happens is you're not just catching prawns, you're catching everything that comes in the nets, right, while it's being dragged along the ocean floor. So you get turtles, you get rays, you get different kinds of fish that actually are not target fish, they are bycatch. And the fishermen sort what they want, like the high value stuff. So they'll remove the prawns, cuttlefish, and then the rest of whatever is caught is simply thrown back dead, mostly dead, to the sea. And today we have statistics which say that for every 1 kg of prawns, 10 kg of marine life is thrown back. So it's like you're running a bulldozer in a forest to catch frogs. It's as bad as that. So Know Your Fish is an initiative that can help seafood consumers make responsible seafood choices based on breeding cycles of fish. Every month we post a calendar with the list of species that you need to avoid and the list of species that you can eat. And the ones that are in avoid are breeding, so they need to be left alone. Along with that, you'll also see a color given to every fish from red to green. And that's an added information which talks about the population of that fish. Even if it is in season, we are saying that, okay, eat it. But if you want to take another step towards being more responsible, you can avoid it because its population is declining. So with Know Your Fish, we've collected information of 40 different kinds of fish. We just want to encourage people to eat local, try different varieties of fish. Stop sticking to your pomfret and surmai and prawns and squids. There are 40 other fishes. So try that and reduce pressure on these fish, because you can't blame the fishermen. They are catching the fish because there is demand. So we're trying to encourage consumers to change their demand so that things can eventually change. If more and more people start talking about this, it can reach policy level too.
My real appeal would be that every citizen, every normal person, every average citizen needs to understand his or her responsibility towards contributing towards the solution. Because ultimately, these are issues that are affecting all of us. It is not affecting only certain areas. I think today it is a global phenomenon. And therefore, we really need citizens across all walks of life to engage with environmental issues.